Auschwitz-Birkenau was the epicenter of Nazi cruelty, where millions perished in the Holocaust. In May 1943, SS Captain Dr. Josef Mengele arrived, bringing a chilling obsession with eugenics and racial purity. Mengele saw Auschwitz as a laboratory, not a camp, using prisoners, especially twins, as disposable test subjects. His research aimed to prove Nazi racial theories, focusing on twins to unlock genetic secrets. Backed by the SS, Mengele operated with impunity, reducing prisoners to numbers in his grotesque experiments. For the 1,500 sets of twins who entered his barracks, arrival meant the start of a nightmare, orchestrated by the so-called Angel of Death. Mengele's presence became synonymous with terror, his unpredictable moods and cold authority haunting every corner of the camp. For those selected, their fate was sealed. They were no longer children, but specimens in Mengele's monstrous quest. The selection ramp at Auschwitz was a place of chaos and terror where Mengele played judge and executioner. As trains arrived, families were torn apart, and Mengele's chilling command, "Twins, step forward," echoed across the platform. Parents faced an impossible choice: hide their twins or hope for mercy. Mengele, with a calm demeanor, would spot twins himself, sometimes offering candy to lure them in. Selected twins and their mothers were separated from their families. Most never saw their loved ones again. Fathers and siblings were sent to forced labor or immediate death. The twins were taken to special barracks for experimentation, spared the gas chambers but delivered into a new hell. Their names were erased, replaced by numbers, and they were housed in the so-called zoo. Here, they received slightly better rations and kept their hair and clothes, not out of kindness, but to keep them healthy for experiments. These privileges were calculated, ensuring the twins survived only as long as they were useful. The selection was the first step in their dehumanization, a trauma that haunted survivors for life. Mengele's selections were not acts of mercy, but the beginning of systematic torture. The ramp was where hope ended, and Mengele's experiments began. Life in Mengele's zoo was a twisted paradox, small comforts masking constant dread. Twins avoided hard labor and received marginally better food, but only to keep them fit for experiments. Each day began with roll call and endless measurements, skulls, noses, eyes, comparing every detail between siblings. Children stood naked for hours, prodded and examined like livestock. Despite fear, twins clung to each other, finding strength in their shared ordeal. Older siblings protected the younger, and secret games offered fleeting moments of childhood. These bonds were vital for survival, a quiet defiance against dehumanization. Yet the psychological toll was immense: constant anxiety, witnessing brutality, and knowing their lives depended on Mengele's whims. Privileges only deepened their isolation, setting them apart from other prisoners. Their childhoods were stolen, replaced by a daily regimen of fear and uncertainty. Mengele's experiments were a catalogue of cruelty, devoid of scientific merit. He injected one twin with diseases like typhus, using the other as a control, documenting suffering until death. Obsessed with eye color, he injected chemicals into children's eyes, causing pain, blindness, and sometimes death. Blood transfusions between twins, often with incompatible types, led to agony and collapse. Large amounts of blood were drawn without anesthesia, leaving children weak and traumatized. Surgeries, amputations, organ removals were performed without pain relief. Forced insemination and sterilization were carried out in the name of racial research. Psychological torment matched the physical pain. Children lived in perpetual fear. Survivors recall the terror and the wall of preserved eyes in Mengele's lab, a gruesome testament to his obsession. The trauma of these experiments left scars that would never heal. Mengele's most chilling practice was comparative autopsy. If one twin died, the other was killed immediately, often by injection to the heart, so their bodies could be dissected together. This created unbearable dread. Each child's fate was tied to their sibling's survival. Autopsies were performed by Mengele himself, searching for genetic clues to support Nazi ideology. Organs and skeletons were preserved and sent to German institutes, further desecrating the children in death. True science values life. Mengele's work was built on suffering and death. Of the 1/500 sets of twins, most were murdered for these autopsies. Their lives were extinguished not for medicine, but to satisfy Mengele's morbid curiosity. Of the 3,000 twins subjected to Mengele's experiments, only about 200 survived. Eva Moses Kaur and her sister Miriam were 10 when selected. Eva recalled endless measurements and injections, once surviving a near-fatal illness because she knew her death would mean Miriam's too. Eva's determination saved them both. After the war, she became a leading voice for Holocaust education and forgiveness. Vera Kriegel, only 5, was haunted for life by memories of injections and fear. Jona witnessed the horror of twins sewn together in a failed experiment, children who screamed until they died. Survivors endured chronic illness, pain, and psychological trauma long after liberation. Ephraim Reichenberg lost his brother to the experiments and later battled cancer from the injections. The scars were not just physical. Nightmares, depression, and PTSD followed them for decades. Their testimonies are living proof of the depths of human evil. These stories are not just history, they are warnings. The survivors' courage ensures the world never forgets what happened in Mengele's labs. Their voices are a testament to resilience in the face of unimaginable cruelty. Through them, the memory of the lost children endures. Amidst the horror, rare acts of compassion shone through. Erno Spiegel, a Hungarian Jewish twin, was forced to care for the boys in Mengele's barracks. Instead of becoming complicit, he protected the children, insisting they use their names, sharing food, and offering comfort. Spiegel secretly taught the boys, preserving their sense of self and hope. Survivors credit him with saving lives, including falsifying records to protect non-twin brothers from the gas chambers. His story, highlighted in the 2024 documentary The Last Twins, is a reminder that even in darkness, humanity can prevail. Spiegel's courage was a lifeline, proving that compassion can exist even in the heart of evil. As the Soviets approached Auschwitz, Mengele vanished, taking his notes and escaping justice. Captured briefly by the Allies, he was released due to bureaucratic oversight and lack of information about his crimes. Mengele lived openly in Germany, then fled to Argentina using Nazi escape routes. For years he lived under his real name, only going into hiding when a warrant was issued in 1959. Despite an international manhunt, Mengele evaded capture, moving between Paraguay and Brazil. He died in 1979, drowning off the Brazilian coast, buried under a false name. His death remained secret for years. Only in 1985 was his identity confirmed. Mengele never faced justice for his crimes. His escape remains one of the most infuriating chapters in Holocaust history. Liberation did not end the suffering for Mengele's twins. Survivors faced lifelong health problems and psychological trauma, nightmares, anxiety, and distrust of doctors. Their tattooed numbers were permanent reminders of their ordeal. The Nuremberg trials exposed Nazi medical crimes, leading to the Nuremberg Code and the principle of informed consent in research. Mengele's work was discredited, and eugenics was rejected as hateful pseudoscience. The legacy of the twin experiments is both a story of suffering and a catalyst for ethical reform. Survivors like Eva Moses Kaur dedicated their lives to remembrance and education. Their stories warn future generations, science must always respect human dignity or risk repeating history.